Hey guys, welcome to another session of our IC Markets webinar, Managing Your Trades. Can you guys hear me? Nice, nice. I see a lot of familiar faces. Who's here? Who's here for the first time, or rather, how many times have you guys been here? Oh, 3 times, second time, third time, fourth time. I got a couple of people first time. Nice. Hello, 3 times, loud and clear. Nice, nice. Wow, it's getting packed in here. I think we're gonna hit maximum capacity. Um, all right, guys. Just I always like to ask you guys before we begin, right? Where are you guys coming from, right? Which country are you guys coming from? Oh, we got a guy Valerio from Norway. You got UK, Indonesia, England, Australia, Germany, Italy, Spain, UK. Imagine anyone from Asia. I see some people from Malaysia, Ghana, South Africa, Vietnam, Philippines, Kenya, Australia. Wow, many of you guys from all over the world. JT from Singapore, awesome. I got fellow Singaporean here. Yeah, if you guys want to know where I'm from Singapore, right? So, okay, Thailand, Nepal, Italy, cool. India, Hungary, Trinidad and Tobago, nice. Welcome. We got Rohan. You're asking how to chat. I can see your chat, right? Just I think you guys can only see the messages that you send, right? You can't see each other's messages. Okay. Now, yeah, it's awesome to be in Singapore. Oh, I've got a couple of people from Dubai, right? Um, I'm gonna try a new thing today, which is called managing polls. Okay. I want to see if I can actually do some polls with you guys later on to get an idea whether wow, this thing is so freaking confusing, man. Uh, how do I even create a poll? All right, settings, registration, emails, engage, survey poll. Okay, okay, all right. I'm going to try something here, right? How many what is the best time for you to attend? Oh wait, no. How many webinars do you like per month? Right? One, two, three, four. Okay, I'm going to try to because we're trying to have to do a little more polls here, right? So what if I launch this thing here? Can you guys vote? Are you able to see? Right, it is per month, okay? So it's not per week, right? Okay, awesome. Are you guys able to actually see like the percentage of yeah, are you guys able to see the percentage? Oh, you're not able to see. All right, we got 39% at 2 no, and 34% at 4, right? So most of you guys prefer 2 webinars a month. Okay. Oh, you do not see the percentages. All right, awesome. Right. So guys, it is how many webinars do you like per month, not per week? Okay, I'm not sure if you can you can adjust that. Yeah, I see some of you guys voting one. All right, it's interesting. Okay, one per week is good. Never mind. Awesome. We're just testing this out. We'll be using this later to engage you guys a little bit more because at least now I can see some of the answers. Previously, I wasn't able to see the answers properly. All right. Okay, I'm gonna close it off now. Okay, now let us begin, guys. Awesome, awesome. Remember, if you have questions, right? Remember, shoot them through straight away. I literally have another screen open here just to see the questions you guys are sending through. Okay, now let's begin, right? So always before we begin, a disclaimer that this is educational webinar. So anything you hear and learn in this webinar should not be construed as investment or financial advice. Do your own due diligence before you trade, okay, guys? Now, our agenda for today, right? It's all about managing your trades and designing your strategy. Okay, we're going to look at a few things. First is the anatomy of a trade. I'm going to pick up my handy dandy pen here, right? The first is managing your trade. Okay, no, I mean the anatomy of a trade. A lot of people think that oh, weird. You guys can you guys see my screen? Ah, Okay, you can only see me. All right, can you guys see my screen now? Ah, awesome. Okay, looks like when I do a poll, it just resets the whole thing. Anyways, no harm just looking at me, right? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, now you can see. Okay, awesome sauce. Okay, guys. Now let's begin again, right? We're going to look at the anatomy of a trade today. So most people, when they think about the trade, right? Okay, you see screen and you see me. Okay, awesome. Right. Most people, when they think about a trade, they just think about like your entry, your stop loss, and your take profit. Right. Today I'll be showing you what is the bigger anatomy of a trade. There's the entry, stop loss, take profit, break even, partial profit, idea invalidation, trailing stop, right? There's a lot more that goes into making the perfect trade, right? There's at every single point of time, it's not about setting your trade and forgetting about it, right? There's a way to monitor and there's a way to monitor your trade and to grow your and to and to adjust your trade as the markets play out. I'll be sharing with you a little bit more about that. Today, two things that we want to focus on today, right? We're going to focus on stop loss placement, right? And we're going to focus on take profit placement, right? A lot of times we, if you realize, sometimes price goes all the way down to your very close to your stop loss, right? It stops you out and then it reverses in your favor, and you're wondering, oh my God, right? Why did that happen? Right? Am I being hunted by my broker? Am I being stop hunted? Right? Is the market manipulating? Is it being manipulated? How do these people know that my stop loss was there? Right? And the same thing for take profit. It just misses your take profit, and it reverses to your entry, or it reverses to your stop loss. Many times this happens, right? And today we'll be debunking that myth. There is no stop hunting that is going on around here. It is all a case of proper stop loss and take profit placement. Okay. Um, okay. For you guys who want to chat a bit with me later, I can share with you a little bit of the different ways that you can reach out to me. But today, let's focus on the agenda for today. We'll be looking a little bit at the difference at the very very important relationship between risk and lot size. A lot of people, when they want to take a trade, they're like 0 0.1 lots, 0 0.1 lots, right? And that's a problem there, because it is your lot size directly affects the risk allocation you have, and that is what we're going to look at the end. How does your stop loss affect your lot size? Okay, now guys, introducing your host. This is me, right? Desmond Leong, right? For those of you guys who haven't met me, I run the award-winning research firm Everest Fortune Group and the Forex Army, right? So we are the finalists for 2019 and 2020, and recently we just got 2021 for best FX research and best equity research. So we kind of really know our stuff, right? And we have a strong team of CFA, CMT, and CFTE accredited traders. Our usual business is usually advising banks and hedge funds on where the markets are heading, right? But we have a special collaboration with IC Markets, where we are trying to train their traders to see the markets more in an institutional perspective. How to really take on the markets, how to manage your trades, how to design your strategy in a way that institutional traders do it, right? So now's your chance, right? Remember, if you have questions, shoot them right through, because if you have attended the first two webinars, you know that we rarely have time to take questions at the end of the session. All right. Now let us move on. Oh yeah, and at the Forex Army, right? I'll be sharing with you a little bit more about this later. We just built a whole bunch of crazy indicators and EAs there, right? So we got okay, let me explain the anatomy of a trade first. Okay, then we go a little bit into understanding how you guys build your trading strategy. All right. So the anatomy of a trade, most people stop at entry, stop loss, take profit, right? Most people just kind of look at this tree: entry, stop loss, take profit. They don't realize that there is the break even. So break even means where maybe if this is your entry, right? This is your entry. This is your entry here. This is your take profit. This is your stop loss, right? Break even means you move your stop loss to your entry. Partial profit means that you close off part of your trade when it hits a certain level before it hits your main take profit level. Trailing stop loss, most of you guys know, is that your stop loss kind of moves along with price. Idea invalidation is an advanced trading technique. Most people only think about this, moving your stop loss to your entry level to protect their profits. Most people don't think about the opposite, where you move your take profit to your entry. So when you move your take profit to your entry is when you actually admit that, hey, looks like I'm wrong, right? My idea didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. Now it's time for me to try to get the hell out of the trade as soon as I can, right? So idea invalidation, right, is actually the opposite of break even. Just as we look to reduce our risk, we also must look to reduce our exposure, right? So idea invalidation, most people don't use it because it doesn't sit very well with them, right? From a psychological perspective, they're thinking, I must admit that I am wrong before I can put an idea invalidation into place, right? Idea invalidation basically is the level where you say, okay, I'm wrong, right? Let me get out of this trade as soon as possible, right? So this is actually the big anatomy of a trade. Today we'll be covering entry, stop loss, take profit. We'll probably look to cover advanced trade management in the next webinar or in future webinars, right? I just to get just to check with you guys, can you guys hear me? Because I got one guy saying that he cannot hear the audio. Something wrong with your speaker. Okay, I'm just gonna reply privately to this guy. All right, awesome sauce, guys. Awesome sauce. Okay, now moving on, right? So let's first look at stop loss placement. All right, great that everyone can hear me properly, right? We got questions coming in like, how do you take a partial profit? When do you decide to take a partial profit? So usually, right, just thinking about the market, right? If I was you don't just put a partial profit randomly, right? So imagine if I'm just going to draw something very arbitrary over here. Okay, so imagine you buy at this level. Okay, you buy at this level, right? And price kind of goes up. So your first resistance, your first pullback resistance is here. Your second overlap resistance, if you guys have been paying attention to my previous webinars, right? So there is the R1, what I call the first resistance, and that's R2, right? The second resistance, right? As price kind of works its way up, right? Your first partial profit, right? Your partial profit might be here, and your full take profit might be at the second level, right? So you always place your first partial profit at the first resistance level between your full take profit and your entry, right? Because price might reach this level and it might just reverse from here, right? You don't place it at an arbitrary level, right? You need to put it at you need to decide why you want to place it at that level. Okay, now okay, we have questions on leverage, we have questions on MT5. MT5 I think can close off partial positions, but for MT4 you can you can't set a partial profit in your trade directly, but you can close off part of your position when you reach a certain level. There are MT4 trade managers out there that actually help you manage the trades, actually help you, right? I just guys, can you hear my audio properly? Can you guys hear my audio well? Just let me close off all my other stuff, all right? It's okay now? I got a whole bunch of crap here, man. Okay, I just closed a whole bunch of stuff. All right, so hopefully the audio is better now. Okay, awesome. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, I just got some alert that sometimes the audio is not working well. Okay, so yeah, so partial profit, usually put your partial profit at like your first resistance. Okay, right? So between your final take profit over here and your entry, partial profit, you need to find a reason on where to put it. Okay, you need to find a reason on where to put it. Okay, now in terms of the leverage, right? Leverage is kind of like a double-edged sword. It's not a high leverage can mean more profits, it can also mean more losses, right? So you got to be careful with it. Good leverage comes with good trade management, right? So it's like giving you a super sword, right? So if you are not trained to hold the sword, it will be useless, right? Bringing it to battle would not do you any good, right? If you're just holding it, it's a very big sword. People look at you and they're like, "Whoa, okay, that looks like the guy knows his stuff." But if you don't have the strength to wield it, right, and someone comes at you, you're just gonna die. So great, like what Peter Parker, right, Spider-Man say, great great power comes with great responsibility. The same thing with leverage. Great leverage comes with great responsibility too, right? Responsibility to your account, responsibility to trade management. If you don't know how to wield it properly, right, it can send you down a slippery slope. Okay, now I will share with you a little bit on how you can take partial profits. I mean, I have a IC Markets MT4 here. There are a few trade managers out there, right? I believe mine is one of the few trade managers that can actually, when you want to enter into trade, let me just show you how I trade, okay, guys? Right, this is what I do. Let's just say, do I want to buy or do I want to sell? Right, let's just say I want to sell. Where's my entry? Right, my entry is the blue line, right? I can put it at any level I want. Maybe at this pullback resistance over here, I'm gonna put my entry here. Where's my stop loss? I'm gonna put it maybe above this little high. Where's my take profit? I'm gonna put it down here. Where's my second partial profit? First partial profit? Where's my break even? Where do I need idea and validate? I guess if it comes close enough to here, I'll do it. Do I want a trailing stop loss? Maybe not. I'll disable it. Do I want to cancel my trade? No. How much do I want to risk on this trade? I'll risk a percentage of my account. I risk 1% of my account. Do I want any advanced features? Do I want to hide my stop loss? Not necessary. I'll place my trade. You can see this is my entry. This is my stop loss, risking exactly close to $100, which is 1% of this demo account. If I want to adjust it, I move it up, I move it down. It's easy for me to do that, right? I want to move my stop loss further away, I can move it further up, further down, no problem. Delete the trade is there, right? This is one of the advanced trade managers which I've built. I will share with you guys a link later if you want it, right? This is not endorsed by IC Markets. Like this special trade manager is something which we built separately. I can share with you a little bit more about it later, but it's important that we cover the webinar first. Okay, yeah, it's cool because I built it because I got too frustrated at using MT4, right? I was too frustrated at using like the standard trade management of MT4, so I kind of built it myself, right? And yeah, it only works on computer. Now let's cover more of the topic. Okay, yeah, it looks awesome. Thank you, because I built it myself. Right. Now let's go into what is wrong with a fixed stop loss. Okay, so many times, right? Many times you go to Baby Pips. You go to Baby Pips, you go to Forex Factory, and then you read these trading strategies there. They say stuff like, okay, guys, when price does a little bit of a moving average crossover, right? You're gonna have a stop loss of 100 pips, and you're gonna have a take profit of 100 pips, right? So there are many such strategies out there where they give you an arbitrary number, right? 100 pip stop loss, 100 pip take profit, 50 pip stop loss, 50 pip take profit. Now, the problem with such strategies is that they don't factor in the structure of the markets. What I mean by that is that let's just look at this here, right? There's a nice big bounce over here. There's a nice big bounce over here. So there is a very nice support level over here. Okay, it's a very big swing low support, right? At this green level over here, there's a very nice big swing low support, right? Let's just say price breaks out from this overlap resistance, right? We think that we decide to buy. Okay, we buy thinking price will go all the way up to here, all the way up to a swing high resistance here, And our strategy that is recommended by Baby Pips, our strategy that's recommended by Forex Factory, tells you that you need to have a fixed stop loss of 100 pips. And this fixed stop loss of 100 pips is just right above your support level over here. You don't need to know the time frame of this chart. You know, for the sake of this example, it could be a H1 chart, right? It could be an M15 chart, right? Because some people saying, can you see my monitor? Yes, the webinar will be recorded. Can you guys actually see the screen I'm showing you here with the 1, 2, 3? Okay, yeah, you guys can see it. So those of guys who can't see it, I think you need to click something to be able to see my screen. If you like to look at my face throughout, I won't stop you, but you know, you need to look at the screen too. Okay, so now the problem with this strategy, right, is that it tells you to have your stop loss right above this level, right? It tells you to have your stop loss right above this level. And imagine if, why I don't like this is because what happens next is that, you know, price comes up, we think that it was going to all the way to the moon, right? But instead, it actually reverses. It actually reverses and it comes all the way down and it touches your stop loss, right? Price goes down, it touches stop loss and bounce perfectly up, and it bounce up from here. Does this seem familiar, right? Does this seem familiar, guys? Just let me take a screenshot of this. Yeah, does this seem familiar? It seems so familiar. Why it seems familiar is because of your stop loss placement, right? When you look at a strategy and the strategy just tells you to put your stop loss 100 pips away from your, you know, it doesn't take into consideration that there might have been a super nice support level over here. Now, I want you, if there's one thing that you have to learn from this webinar today, is this rule. You want to put your stop loss beyond a key level of support or resistance. It always has to be further away, right? So instead of putting your stop loss right there, right, because price is always attracted to there, you know, it stops you out and it reverses. What you want to do is to put your stop loss slightly further away, right? So this could be 110 pips of stop loss, right? So even if your trading strategy recommends you to have 100 pips stop loss, what you want to do is to look at 100 pips and look at the market. Look at what the market is telling you, right? If there's a very big support level there, you want to put your stop loss slightly beyond. You want to put it slightly beyond. Give it a little bit of breathing space, right? Let the fighting happen there. After the fighting happened there, then maybe it has a chance to reverse up this way. Most of the time, I will put my idea and validation level here, but we will go into that in our advanced trade management, right? So this is what I mean. Yeah, so Florian got it correct. You know, your stop loss should be under the support, right? So it's not necessarily under the support most of the time, but depends if you have a buying, you know, if you have a buy order, right? Especially if you're buying, right? If you're buying, right, your stop loss should be beyond. Always remember, stop loss beyond and take profit before, right? This is the big lesson you need to learn today. Stop loss beyond, take profit before. Okay, right. Nice support your trade and put stop loss away from the support, away until market goes to support, then enter and put so we got a question here from Hakim saying that when we got such a nice support level here, when do we put the stop loss? You put the stop loss the moment you put your entry. Okay, because if this is our entry over here, right, put your stop loss the moment you put your entry. Don't wait until price comes all the way down to here before you put your stop loss, right? Proper risk management always requires you to put your stop loss before, at the same time as placing your entry. Why do we put our stop loss at the same time of placing our entries? Because only when we do that can we know how much risk we are setting, how much risk we are allocating to this trade. Because only when we know the stop loss distance can we know the lot size. And I'll be sharing with you a little bit more on that later. Okay. Now, so always remember, put your stop loss slightly beyond a key level and put your take profit slightly before a key level. Okay, that's the one thing I want to show you, right? And this is, of course, this is in a case where you're selling, right? You're selling, you want to put your take profit slightly before a key level. You want to put your stop loss slightly beyond a key level. You reverse it if it is, if you're buying. So for instance, I calculate a position, you should take in. Yeah, so Valerio, it is correct. If you're calculating your position size, you should base it on, in this example, you should base it on 110 pips instead of basing it on 100 pips, right? You got to base it on 110 pips. So we got a guy asking, can we trade without stop loss and take profit? Personally, nothing is stopping you from doing it, but my how I do it is that I always use a stop loss. Sometimes I use a take profit, but most of the time I use every time I will use a stop loss, because trading without a stop loss, it seems nice, right? Until there's that one trade that goes against you, that really tanks in your against you, and it wipes you out, right? So try your best to trade with a stop loss, because with a stop loss, then you know how much you're risking. Yes, it is possible to have a 15 to 30 pip stop loss, depending on your time frame, depending on your currency pair. Like if you have a currency pair like euro dollar, 30 pip stop loss take profit is okay, right? But if you have a currency pair like GBP CAD, right, 30 pip stop loss might be a little bit too tight. So it all depends on the currency pair that you're trading. Okay, gold is also different. Yes. Can anyone predict the market? What's the percentage of that? What's the best time for trading? We got a question from Jamal, right? So people can predict the market to a degree of possibility, right? So if you guys attended my previous webinars, right, if you are going to use support and resistance, right, maybe you have you use support and resistance, use oscillators, you use Fibonacci, you use correlation, you use momentum like Ichimoku, right? You use Elliott wave, you use harmonics, right? Each of these different methods of analysis increases your trading probably the chances of you being correct by a certain amount, right? So this one maybe has a 20%, maybe this one has 10%, this one has 15%, this one has 20%, this one got 5%, 10%, right? This one another 10%. If you trade using one alone, it might not, you probably won't be profitable. But the more you combine, this becomes 30%, this becomes 45%, this becomes 65%, this becomes 70%, this becomes 80%. The more you combine, the higher probability you have on getting it correct, right? So that's the important thing that you need to take note of here, right? Is that the more you combine, right, the higher chance you have of being correct. It's not about just using one by itself. Yeah, it's not about just using one kind of trading style by itself. Okay. Now, guys, just give me a second while I do quickly a screenshot here. Okay. Now, moving on from here. The next thing, stop loss beyond. So it's the same case here, right? If we see one swing high, two swing highs, and three swing highs, right? Our stop loss, right? We will want to put our stop loss beyond this level, right? You can see how, if we were trying to sell, wherever we were trying to sell, price tends to spike up to, to where the resistance is, right? And we want to put our stop loss slightly beyond, right? So that it gives it that little bit of breathing space, right? And how and where do we learn these indicators? So you got questions from like, where do we learn all these different kinds of trading styles? You're going to learn them at IC Markets, right? So what we're doing here at IC Markets is we have an entire webinar series, right? Sharing with you guys how, all the different ways that you can trade, right? We'll be covering the basic all the way to the really advanced, right? So every 2 weeks, we'll be going through a webinar together. I'll be the guy who shares with you how to go, how to use these advanced ways of trading. Some of it, but we cannot skip the basics, right? We need to teach you the basics and work our way up, right? So we got a question from Agnes. How can I learn how to understand how many pips a currency pair of metals moves in a day, right? So you want to look for this thing called ATR, average true range, or yeah, so to get or ADX, no, ATR, right? You want to search for this thing called ATR. Gives you an idea on how many pips a day the market moves. How can we access this info on YouTube? Let me see if I have a so if you guys want to access the recordings, what you want to do is to go to IC Markets, go to More, go to Webinar. Okay, under Webinars, right, you'll be able to see the list of webinars that we did previously. So you just click on it, you can view webinar, and it's awesome sauce. You can watch it there. Today, we are going through understanding trade management. All the future webinars will be listed below. I will try to get the schedule up beforehand, but right now we are almost at max capacity. So the sooner you sign up, the better. Okay, the sooner you sign up, the better. I'm just going to send this. Can you guys just see the link I just sent you about the /blog/webinars? Yeah, that is the link you want to go to view the past recordings. All right. Now, without deviating too much, okay, we got Adnan who's asking for me to answer his question. Sorry, I can't find your question again, Adnan. If you can, because I'm getting like 100 questions every second, right? If you can send your questions again, I can take a look at it. All right. Okay, let's focus on the agenda. All right, good point. Now, take profit placement. Right, when it comes to take profit placement, one thing I want to focus on is to put it before. Right, you want to put it before a key level. In this case here, right, if we are selling, right, we expect prices to go down, we want to put our take profit slightly before this key resistance area. Right, you see price bounce up once, bounce up twice, bounce up 3 times. This is obviously a key area of support. So this is supposed to be support, by the way. Right, you want to put your take profit slightly before that. You want to get out of your trade before all the fighting here begins, right? And this is where later I'll be sharing with you guys a little bit more. Guess we got 489 people in this session right now. It's awesome, right? What is wrong with a fixed take profit, right? I'm going to share with you one of the problems of a fixed take profit. Okay, now you guys, if you're only seeing your questions, it's because in a webinar, you're only able to see your questions. You're not able to see each other's questions. All right. So let's just say what is wrong with a fixed take profit. You have one big resistance here. You got 2 big resistance here, right? And we can clearly see that this is a big level of resistance over here. Okay. And imagine you go to Baby Pips, right? Baby Pips say, okay, I am, a Forex guru, and I'm going to tell you that when you see this special strategy that occurs, what you want to do is to put your fixed take profit at 100 pips. And imagine 100 pips over here. It is right at 100 pips is right at your resistance, right? So you are buying from here. You are buying from here at this level over here, and we expect price to go up 100 pips to over here, to your big resistance level, right? So yes, Martin, your TP should be right below the big resistance, right? Because what's going to happen here is you look at this, price comes all the way up, it spikes all the way up, and right before it reaches there, it reverses. And then you can see price shot up, it missed it by a couple of pips before reversing back down. Because price tends to reverse off big areas of resistance or support, right? So what you want to do is you want to put your take profit, instead of putting it over here, right? Why we put 100 is because of some random, no one ever said 100 was the correct number to put it at. You always need to look at the market and see what it's telling you, right? So in this case here, right, you can see that, it's much better to put your take profit at 90 pips instead, right? Put your take profit at 90 pips. Price spikes up to here, hits your take profit, then reverse. So what is the lesson you want to do? Don't blindly follow a fixed take profit target just because some forum tells you to, right? Don't just randomly focus, put a random take profit, right? 190, 80, 50, right? Even you see those Telegram groups, they're like, 50 pips, 80 pips. The moment you see someone who randomly puts that kind of number, you can say it's bullshit. Sorry, you can say it's nonsense, right? There's no reason that they can randomly just put a number there. You need to factor in what the market is telling you. The moment I see someone say your take profit at 86 pips or 87 pips, it is way more convincing to me than knowing that just put it at 100 pips, just put it at 80 pips, right? Because I know that he's looking at the markets. I know that he's fine-tuning his target based on what the market is telling him, right? So okay, that's right. That's right. We will be focusing more of the questions on. I'll be answering your questions, right? I'll be answering your questions more based on the agenda, right? So questions on leverage, that kind of stuff, we'll take a look at it later. Okay. Yeah. So now moving on from here, right? So you can see here, right? That it's better to put your stop loss in this case at 90 pips, right? Look at the market before you put your take profit before and your stop loss beyond. I want to share with you guys what is the ideal risk percentage per trade. Okay, let us see if I can create a what is your ideal risk percentage per trade, right? I'm going to put 1 to 3%, 5%, and 10%. Let me see if I can I'm going to put another safe poll, right? And I have a poll over here. I'm going to run the poll again. Okay, guys, can you vote, please? Okay, I'm going to share you guys the responses. God, what happened to my coffee? I think I didn't stir it too long. It's suddenly turning to crap. Yes. Okay, we got 76% of you guys saying 1 to 3%, and we got 18% of you guys saying 5%. So we got roughly 75% over here. We got 18% here, and the rest of you are saying 10%. It's nice to see that most of you guys think that the ideal risk percentage is 75%. Now let me share with you. I'm going to close off this poll over here. All right. Are you guys able to see my screen? Are you guys able to see my screen? Yes. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Now, let's 1 to 3% is correct. I do want to put you guys through a scenario. Okay, now this is roulette. Okay, roulette usually has 18 red, 18 black and 1 green, right? So if you bet on black, you have a 48% chance of winning. I give you $1,000 to play. How much would you bet on black? How much would you bet on black, guys? Some people say forex. Forex is not exactly gambling. Forex is more or less forex is a it's a game of probability. Okay, we got some answers coming through now. We got $500, $480, $100, $10, really, $30, okay, $20, $250, $150 wagers. You can see who are the guys who go to Las Vegas here, right? $100 to $300, 40, $1,000. Oh my goodness, martingale strategy. So it's a game of probability, right? It's all a game of probability. I can see a few of you guys are heavy bettors. Most of you guys $10 to $15 to $30. Some people say all of it is not my money, right, Jack? Let's just say if it's your money, what will you do with it? $48, 1%. All right. Most of you guys actually put anywhere from $10 to $50. Some of some of you guys put $100. Less of you guys put $500 and $1,000. Okay. Now let's just say I changed the game around a little bit, right? I have a new roulette table. I changed the roulette table to this table. You got 32 black, 4 red, and 1 green. So now if you bet on black, you have an 86% chance of winning. right? How much would you bet on black? How much would you bet? Oh, I'm seeing some big answers coming. You know, we got 1,000, we got 800, 1,000, 1,000, 500, 1,000, 500, 400. A lot of bigger bets coming through. Man, why does my coffee taste so weird? Okay. Some people say $10, right? Oh man, guys, you got 86% chance of winning. You're gonna put $10 in there? All right, $100 will get. Now I see a much larger majority of you guys putting what, another guy $860, 300, 400. That's true. Now you have a much you have a much bigger, a much higher chance of winning. Me myself, how much I will put? I put $1,000 in there. Man, I got 86% chance of winning. I'm gonna go big, man. If this is a roulette table, I'm gonna throw in $1,000 almost every time. You have such a high chance of winning. But what I do want to tell you guys is that you notice the higher your chance of winning, the more you would allocate to a trade. And that is the same as Forex. If you have a 48% chance of winning, right, like this roulette table here, right, you put in a little bit less. But if you have a 86% chance of winning, right, you would naturally put in more. Most of you guys would throw in more. So Forex trading is all a game of probability, trying to increase the odds in your favor, right? What I mean by in your favor, it means that you're doing different kinds of analysis, right, just to get more ways to find, to increase your odds of being correct, right? So so in this case, right, like I shared with you earlier, support resistance, correlation, Ichimoku, Fibonacci retracements, Fibonacci extensions, Elliott wave harmonics, right? A supply and demand, right? All these things add up to your probability, right? So how you decide how much risk is not just on a random amount, 1 to 3%, right? Sometimes I put 5% on the trade when the stars are freaking line up, right? And I say like, wow, this is once in a lifetime. I see so many things line up. I'll put in 5%, but I will usually not go beyond 5%. I will usually range from 1 to 3%, depending on how nice the trade setup is, right? So yeah, so it's all a game of probability. You need to see anything that I want to, if there's one thing you want to take away, another thing you want to take away from here is that the higher your chance of winning, the more you should allocate to a trade. Don't put in your full 100%, but whether you're risking 1%, 2%, 3, 4, 5%, it all depends on how nice a setup is, right? And where can you learn all these things? We'll be sharing with you in the webinar series. You can search online for ways how to do it, but my honest opinion, I've looked at all the other forums out there. I've looked at all the other I looked at all the tutorials. Most of them are nonsense. Anyone that asks you to pay money to learn from them, I feel like they're full of crap, right? Most of them are Instagram traders. They take a few nice photos of a car they rented or something, or maybe it's not even their car, right? And they're like, oh, follow me, I'll get you 1,000 pips. The moment you see someone who says that, make 100 pips a day or something, you know that he's full of nonsense. Okay, the reason for that is because I don't care. I can tell you I make 100 pips, but I don't tell you how much I risk, right? If I risk 1,000 pips just to make that 100 pips, that's a terrible risk to reward return. Okay, so apply a discretion, stay away from the nonsensical people, right? I mean, I have no control over that, but if I were to tell you something is that, if it's too good to be true, it's probably true. You want to do your own little due diligence before you look at these people, right? So before you learn, right, if there's one thing I'll tell you, maybe it's also that IC Markets right now, we have this series, but seriously, we have a duty to them to teach you guys, right? So we do our best to teach you and guide you to make sure that you don't fall into the traps of these Instagram traders, right? Who all they're looking to do is to sell you a $3,000 package or something, right? Now, okay, let's move on a little bit, right? What is the ideal lot size, guys? You want to share with me really quickly? When you trade, what is the ideal lot size you should put per trade? We got some people we got Marcin saying it depends on your balance, depends. I must look at my risk, 0.031, right? Okay, I'm actually really glad to see a lot of people saying the word depends, because it depends, really depends. Anyone who answered 0.1, 0.3, or 1, the answer is wrong, because it depends on a few things. I'm glad you guys actually learned. A lot size depends on two things. The first thing it depends on is how good that trade is, how much you want to allocate to that trade. The second thing it depends on is the account size that you have. Okay, right? So let's look at how does your lot size affect your stop loss. Okay, now let's just see here, right? So in this example, right, this is a Kiwi dollar trade. Like if we have a Kiwi dollar trade and we have a $50,000, we have a $50,000 account on Kiwi dollar, right? A 50 pip stop loss, right? If we have a 50 pip stop loss, if we risk 0.1 lot, we'll risk $50. If you risk one lot, we'll risk $500. Right? So depending on whether you're risking 1, 2, or 3% of your account, right? You can see how you're risking. What you're risking here is directly affected by your lot size. What you are risking, how much you decide to risk, whether is this a 1-star trade, 2-star trade, or 3-star trade, affects your lot size over here. That is what you need to know. It is all related. What is the lot size you want to trade, right? How much you risk affects the lot size you trade. Always remember that how much you want to put on a trade is affected by how good the setup is. Don't just put 0.1 lot, 0.1 lot every time. So if this is a super nice trade that checks off 3 boxes, I'll put 3%. If it's okay, only checks off 2 boxes, maybe I put 2%. And if it just meets the bare minimum requirements, maybe I risk 1%. If I risk 1%, this has to be a 1 lot trade. If I want to risk 2%, it needs to be 2 lots. You risk 3% is 3 lots. Okay, now next question I'm going to ask you guys, right? We have 2 setups here. This is setup A. Okay, setup A has a 50 pip stop loss and a 90 pip take profit. Setup B has a 20 pip stop loss and a 36 pip take profit. Okay, first one is 50 pip stop loss and a take profit of 90 pips. Second has 20, 36. My question is, which setup will make you more money with which setup will make you more money with 1% risk allocation? Is it A or is it B? Right, so I'm gonna save this poll. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna run the poll. Okay, please vote. Right, is it setup A, which is 50 pip stop loss, 90 pip take profit, or is it setup B, 20 pip stop loss, 36 pip take profit? So we got, as it stands now, we got 60% who say A, we got 41% that says B, we got a couple of you guys say both the same, right? Now both the same. Okay, now I can share with you the responses that we're getting. Over 250, let me just, over 61% of you guys say A, right? Okay, I'm gonna close this poll. 61% of you guys said A. Let me make sure I'm sharing the correct screen. Yeah, over 61% of you guys said A. 61% of you guys said A. 39% of you guys said B. Okay. Now the interesting thing is you take 50 divided by 90. Okay, actually you take 90 divided by 50, and you take 36 divided by 20. What do you get is 1.8. Both of them have the same risk to reward ratio of 1.8. So if you're risking 1%, right, Guys, can you see my screen? Yes. Okay. All right. You guys can see my screen. So make sure you toggle to my screen correctly. Okay. So this will give you a return of 1.8. This will give you a return of 1.8. So what you notice is that even though one has a take profit of 90 pip and one has a take profit of 36 pip, they both actually give you the same return, right? Sorry, just give me a second, guys. Yeah, they both actually give you the same return. Now, isn't that interesting, right? So what I'm saying is that we're risking 1% of your account on this trade. So whether you risk 1% of your account on A, on B, or 1% of your account on A, you will get the same thing, right? Of course, the important thing to know here is that it is not about the number of pips you make. It is not only about the number of pips you make. What is equally important is the number of pips you risk to get that number of pips of profit. Okay, so it's the same thing here. If I can risk a 5 pip stop loss and a 5 pip take profit, right? Now, I mean a 5 pip take profit over a 5 pip stop loss, it is the same as a 100 pip take profit and a 100 pip stop loss. My risk to reward is the same, just that this requires a very high degree of accuracy. This one gives you a little bit more leeway. So don't just see the take profit. Whenever you see any of those Instagram traders or Telegram traders saying 100 pips take profit, 200 pips take profit, and they don't tell you anything about the stop loss they had before they hit their take profit, run like the wind, right? Run in the other direction. You want to get the hell out of there as soon as possible, because these guys are just trying to trick you guys, right? They just want, it's easy to say 100 pips profit, 100 pip profit, but I didn't tell you that I risked 1000 pips to get 100 pips, or I had no stop loss at all, right? So always factor in how much you're risking to see how much you stand to gain. The key thing is here is not about the number of pips you made. It's about the risk to reward of your trade. Okay, it's about the risk to reward of your trade. Okay, guys. Now, there are many ways, right? We got a lot of questions saying what are the other ways to increase your odds, right? We got supply and demand, which I covered with you guys. We got price action, which I also covered with you guys. A little bit of trend lines, we can combine indicators like advanced ways of doing stochastic RSI. We got this thing called a natural moving average. I haven't shared with you guys before, but it's not about the normal moving average. It's that there are special moving averages you can use in your trading strategy, right? So there's a special moving average, right, and special Ichimoku clouds that you can use, right? We'll be covering all these in the future webinars, right? But I'm going to take I'm going to show you guys how to get that awesome trade manager I showed you earlier. But before that, I'm going to ask a few. I'm required to ask you a few polls, right? Just 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna so now we have a proper way of running a poll. So I'm gonna run this poll first, right? How do you rate this webinar 1 to 5? Guys, be honest with me. You can share with me whether you find it 1 is to 5, right? Now, you can rate it 1 if you think it's terrible. You can rate it 2 if you think it's terrible too. But just let me know, right? So I can all these reports will go back to IC Market. So yeah, just let be honest with it. But also let me know how I can improve in the comments, right? So I can further try to improve, right? I see one person voted 1. I'm very sad, right? Mr. Wali, right? If you can tell me why you voted 1, that'd be better, right? I can see 55% of you guys voted 5, 36% voted 4. Thank you very much, right? That is really kind of you guys. Okay, so a lot of you guys are saying that there's a lot of you guys are saying you want to learn more advanced things, right? On trading psychology, yes, we'll cover some of the stuff on trading psychology. I got your feedback, Vojislav, that it's a little bit slow, right? We keep it kind of at a good pace so that most people are able to, even beginners, right? We will be looking a little bit more at the advanced one. You'll notice that each webinar that we hold, right, it gets a little bit more and more advanced, right? And I'll do my best to answer as much questions as possible, right? I'm gonna ask another question here, right? Because I think at the start, a lot of you guys said that you did not get a proper way of asking or voting. Like, how many webinars do you prefer in a month? Okay, I'm gonna do one last poll, and that's it for today. And then I'll show you guys how you can get the trade manager. Okay. Now I'm gonna close off this poll, and the last poll I'm gonna run for you guys is, oh, okay. How do I? Yeah. Okay. I'm starting to see some questions come in. Right, starting to see some questions come in. I just give me a second. Okay. Now let me. Oh shit! The mic dropped. Can you guys see my screen? Desmond's prayer is your question covering the ground. Okay. Okay, I'll try to in the future webinars, right? What I'll try to do is I will try my best to answer. I'll try my best to go through most of the questions, right? And I'll try to do most of the questions at the end, right? I'm gonna show you how to. I'm gonna show you how. If you search MT4 Trade Manager, actually, right? You can actually find at one of the top positions is the Forex Army, right? This is the MT4 Trade Manager that we have. I'm going to copy a link here, right? And I'm going to share with you guys how you can get access to here. If you want to, you can go there. Let me see if I can go to share this in the chat. This is the link if you want to get the MT4 Trade Manager. Just for you guys today, I'm just gonna give a special coupon code. It's called ICM 20. You use it and you get a 20% discount, right? Again, this particular trade manager is not endorsed by IC Markets, but because you were asking me, how I actually manage my trade is with this little trade manager which I have by the side. So what the trade manager does, right, is that it allows me right off the bat, right? Let me see if I can increase the scale of it. Scale. Let me go 1.6 maybe. No, let me do 2 so it's slightly bigger for you guys. Right, so this particular trade manager, I can hide it if I'm not using it or show it. But let's just say I want to sell, right? At the beginning, you just decide whether you want to buy or sell, right? Yeah, you want to buy or sell. You click sell, right? And you can pick your entry. So each of these bars actually stand for a different thing. Green bar stands for entry, stop loss is red, take profit is green, your first and second partial profits are here. Your break even is yellow, your idea and validation is purple, pink is your trailing stop loss, and white is canceling a trade. Usually it's good for pending orders. If you don't want to use any of it, you click the cross at the top. Okay, so most of the time I don't use trailing stop and I don't use canceling of a trade. When you click on any of these bars, right, you get to decide where your entry is. So you click on here, right? So this is the price where you want your entry to be. Clearly, we can see that there's a lot of, price has reacted twice off this level. So if I want to put my stop loss, I'm going to put it slightly beyond, right? My take profit, where I want to put my take profit, I'm not going to put it at the swing low. I'm going to put it slightly above, slightly before. Exactly what I told you guys, right? Where's my entry going to be? I can move it anywhere I want. I can click on it. I can move it up and down, right? Am I going to use any partial profit, right? This is my second, this is my first partial profit. Where am I going to put my break even level, right? Where am I going to put my idea and validation? And most importantly, when I come here, I can decide how much of my account I want to risk on a trade. If I put 3%, it will reverse calculate the lot size for me, right? So all I need to do from there is to click place trade. And you notice this will roughly be $300. Let me see. Yeah, 294. So 294 is close to 3% of $10,000. So it roughly risk 3% for it. It doesn't work on MT5, it only works on MT4. So how the partial take profit works is that if I click on it, right, and I click define trade, my partial take profit, I can say whether I want to close off 50, how many percentage of the position I want to close off when it reach my first TP1, how many percentage of the position I want it to close off if I reach the second take profit. So if my lot size is 10 and I put 50% here, it means that it close 50% of my lot size when it reaches here. And you close the remaining 50% if I reach TP2, you close the last batch of it when I hit TP3. Right. So yeah, if you guys want to get access to it, I just sent a chat there. Sent it in the chat again. You guys can take a look at it. Right. It's just one of the ways that I use to manage my trade. I designed it myself, so I find it's a little bit more comprehensive when it comes to managing your trade. Right. Again, it's not endorsed by IC Markets. It's just what I use myself. Right. You need to leave your computer on when you're using this trade manager, because the native MT4, if you want to take a trade normally with MT4, right, what you need to do is you need to right click, you need to put a sell limit, right? So if you put a sell limit, right, and you're like, okay, what's the lot size I need here for this, if I want to risk 1% of my trade? Most of the time you need to go to Forex position calculator. You need to come to some place like over here. You need to calculate your lots. I'm trading Aussie dollar. My currency pair is USD. What's my account size? What's my risk to, what's my contract size? And then you do the calculation. You find the correct price, and then you put it into MT4. If you want to edit this thing, you need to right click modify. Notice you can't modify the lot size. So what you need to do is to delete the order. You need to right click, enable one click trading, adjust the lot size here accordingly, put your sell limit over here, right click on here, modify it. You need to type in the exact stop loss and exact take profit. If you do it wrong, you screw it up, right? And there's no way to take partial profit. And that's the reason why I feel that personally MT4 trade management is a little bit tedious, right? So what I do is to have this little trade manager that helps you put in entry, stop loss, take profit, partial profit, break even, idea and validation, trailing stop loss, everything is set for you, right? The trade manager is able to have 1, 2, 3 take profits. It doesn't go beyond 3. It's only 3. And for those people who want trailing stop loss, it has simple steps, ATR, chandelier, and parabolic SAR, right? Yeah, so it has all those different stuff over there. Oops, sorry. I need to cancel this thing here. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to increase the font size a bit so you guys can see. Oh, that font size is too big. Yeah. Yeah, so you can see the font sizes over here a little bit better. Okay. Yeah. Where's the link? Where is it go? So for those of you guys who want the link, right, I'm just going to send it to you guys here. And the code that you want, if you guys want the 20% discount, you just use this this thing here, right? So yeah, you can take a shot at it. If you want it, can go get it, right? But yeah, that's just kind of what I use for it, right? But anyway, this is the trade manager I use to manage my trades better. Now I'm going to take in all your questions that you guys have for me. Okay, so start shooting your questions. I'm going to open up my entire screen here to answer your questions. Okay, and I will try to answer them as quickly as possible. Oh, how much percentage of your total balance are you risking to lose tradely? So I usually risk about 2% of my account on each trade, and I have a hard stop loss. If I hit 3 consecutive, if I hit 3 consecutive, where's my mouse, right? If I hit 3 consecutive losses, right, I will stop. Where's my mouse, man? Yeah, if I hit 3 consecutive losses, I will stop trading, right? Is MT4 better than MT5? Not necessarily. MT4 just has more legacy trading tools that were created for it. MT5 by right is better, right? MT5 has more. MT5 is more robust, but just that if you're looking for custom indicators and EAs, most of the time is created on MT4 and they are not MT5, right? What's the average points per week? How does partial TP work? Partial take profit works by closing off part of your account, part of that trade. So if your lot size is 10 lots, and you reach this level, right? Like you close off 50% of the lot, right? What it does is that out of 10 lots, you close off 50% of it. So it becomes close off 5 lots and you have 5 lots remaining, right? Can a low risk reward be profitable in the long run? For example, 20 people. Valerios is asking, can a low risk reward trade be profitable in the long run? If he has a 20 pip stop loss, no, 20 pip take profit and a 70 pip stop loss, right? So if you have a 20 pip stop loss, right? I mean a 20 pip if you have a 20 pip take profit and a 70 pip stop loss, right? It can be profitable, but your accuracy of being correct needs to be at least what, 80%. You need to be correct 80% of your time to at least be profitable, because each time you make a trade, you make 20, right? 20, 20, 20, but one loss of 70 brings you all the way down. So you need to be correct more than three quarter of the time. You need to be correct at least 80% of the time, right? Do you have something similar for MT5? Sorry, I do not have. If you want the link to sorry, just give me a second. You must go to the full version of it, right? If you want the link, right, this is the link to get it. Do I use any trading robots myself? No, I don't. I trade most of my trades manually. When looking at trade, what time frame should we look to trade? So if you're looking at trade, what time frame do you usually use to trade? I personally look at the minimum 30 minutes chart, because anything lower tends to be too noisy. So depending on your trading style, usually 30 minutes to 1 hour is the sweet spot for most people. If you're looking at swing trading, it's 4 hours to 1 day. Okay. Now, do you recommend an EA for beginners, 5% per month of income? I don't recommend any EA for beginners because right now I haven't seen an EA which is consistently profitable. If I come across one or I created one, I'll let you guys know. Okay. Most of the time, people who sell EAs, they don't make money themselves, so they make money by selling those EAs. If you want to trust anyone, trust yourselves, guys. Learn how to trade properly and trust yourselves. Right? How do you work out margin or trade? How do you trade FX compounding trading? Do you use indicators? Yes, I use indicators. I use the support and resistance indicator. You can find it on my Forex Army website. I use the price action indicator, right? I use the natural moving average, right? But a lot of the time I use the Fibonacci retracement, and Fibonacci extension, right? I use those a lot. How long do I usually hold a trade? If I'm scalping, I usually hold a trade maybe a couple of minutes. If I'm day trading, I hold a trade for a couple of hours. Can you tell me more about the trailing stop loss in the current euro dollar? Trailing stop loss, it depends. There are a couple of trailing stop losses. There is the parabolic SAR. There's a structural stop loss. There's the ATR stop loss. There's a Chandelier stop loss. So many different kinds of stop losses we will cover in the advanced trade management. I cannot cover everything today. It's very advanced, right? How do I deal with over trading? Very simple. If I have 3 consecutive losses in a row, I call it a day. I stop trading. It's called the 3 strikes, you're out. Okay. Now 20 pips a good distance away to put your TP? Not necessarily, depends, right? Again, like I said, don't just think about 20 pips as a arbitrary take profit. You need to factor in, right, what the market is telling you. You know, how is 20 pips right before a big support or resistance level? Remember, take profit before, stop loss beyond, right? Do you use normal time frame based chart, tick chart? How to get access to full market in depth? If you want a depth of market, right? A depth of market, I believe you need to use the MT5, right? And I use normal time frame charts. I usually use the H1 charts. What's my preferred leverage for scalping and day trading? If I'm scalping, my leverage is as high as it gets, 1:500. If I'm day trading, I don't need such a high leverage, 1:100 is fine, right? Do I set a stop loss when scalping? Yes, I always set a stop loss when I'm scalping, because scalping, the markets move so fast. If you don't set a stop loss and the market just spikes against you, you're in trouble. All right. Do you trade based on the news or the market structure? I trade based on market structure. I tend to avoid the news because the news is this thing called what? Damn it, what's the news called? It's called oh man, I got my brain just frozen. The news is called a known unknown. We know that a news is coming, but it's an unknown outcome. So I know that on Friday, first Friday of each month, a non-farm payroll is coming, but I do not know the outcome. And these known unknowns affect the probability of my trades. So I tend to stay away from them. What's the minimum risk to reward ratio I use? 1:1. No hard and fast rule about that, but I minimally look at 1:1. What's the difference between leverage and lot size? Leverage is more or less the ways that you can what's the word for it? Leverage is determines how much leverage determines how many lots you can trade. That's about it, right? So if you have more leverage, you can have more positions. More positions means that you can make more money. More positions also means you can lose more money. All right. I follow dynamic risk management, but I limit my profit but manage my risk. Yes. It's not about limiting your profit and managing your risk. Right. It's about having a good risk to reward when you trade. Okay. You can use 1:500 for day trading too, but remember, with great leverage comes great responsibility. Right? So don't just go full on crazy leverage, right? Because that can harm you, right? How do I get the webinar that I missed? Go to icmarkets.com, go to more, and then, sorry, where is it? Go to icmarkets.com, go to more. For you guys that don't know, right? Go to icmarkets.com/blog/webinars to get more, to get access to the recordings. Okay, if you want, sign up for the next webinars there, because really, it's this webinar hit max attendance really fast. You want to tune in fast, if not, you might not have a chance to get in again. What's the time frame for day trading, right? If you're day trading, I usually think 4 hours is actually the sweet spot. 1 hour to 4 hours, right? How many currency pairs do you recommend to focus on? I look at the majors and the minors, meaning that I look at the majors, right? The minors are those currency pairs that are still popular, right? And they are a mixture of the majors like Euro, Yen, Euro, Aussie, Pound, Aussie. I will not look at the exotic currencies like dollar CNH, dollar ZAR, right? Are robots good? Most of them are not good. Most robots are crap, right? I think robots that allow manual trading is slightly better, like the trade manager we built, but most robots are crap, right? They're selling it because they cannot make money from it, and the only way that they can make money from it is by selling it to you. So my personal recommendation is stay away from robots. Okay. Do you use some tools like strength currency or fundamentals? I do look at a little bit of fundamentals more. So for IC markets, I think for IC markets you have a economic calendar. There you can go to more help and resources economic calendar, right? So I use this economic calendar to more or less know when is a big news event that is coming up, and to stay away from the news. But oh, why am I so handsome? Oh, thank you. Right, I think it must be the genes. I'm kidding. Right, thank you. Now, do I use strength currency? I don't, but there is a way to look at baskets, currency baskets, right? But currency baskets, I think the only correct way of using strength, currency strength, is by looking at creating your own currency baskets. It's a more advanced way. It's like looking at the dollar index, but creating it for the euro index, the yen index, the Aussie index. It's a more advanced way of trading. I can share more with you in the future webinars, right? What do you use for? What do you think of counter trend trading? Counter trend trading is another way of saying, so if like the markets are kind of like if the markets are going down and you're playing the reversals each time it goes down, is what we call contrarian trading. Contrarian trading is a way to is good. I tend to use contrarian trading. So there's a way to use the small contrarian trading of playing when the trend is against you, but there's another way of playing contrarian. So contrarian trading, right? So if you see a big level here, contrarian trading is playing the reversal, right? Breakout, the opposite of contrarian trading is called the breakout. That means you come to a level here and you're trying to play the breakout. I tend to be this kind of guy. I tend to be the guy who either play the contrarian bounce for a while, or I wait for a breakout to happen and I play the contrarian trade in the direction of the trend, right? So this is slightly stronger because you got the overall trend that is in your favor. Maybe it's going down and down and down, and you wait for the pullback, right? So that's what we call by contrarian trading. How can I trade crypto on IC markets? I can see the charts, but it does not let me open any positions. So for cryptocurrency, I believe you can, you just load something like I think for cryptocurrency, you need to trade it on MT5. Yeah, you need to trade it on. Oh no, I think you can see it here. If I'm not wrong, I can trade it on MT5. Let me see if I can place a trade on it. Oh, not enough money. Oh, because I think it's very, 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 very big. Oh yeah, you can trade, right? Just that when you cannot place a trade, usually it's because you go to journal, they can see whether you have enough money, right? So keep a watch out for here, right? Keep a watch out for here. You can trade MT5. What you need to do is to right click under your symbols and click show all. Sometimes you might not be able to see. So when you show all, you get to see, whoa, you get to see all the cryptocurrencies, all the stocks and all the crazy stuff there. Okay. I what's my take on synthetic trading? I'm not too sure what synthetic trading means. When opening an account of IC markets, what currency do you open in? Pick the currency that allows you not to convert your currency. So if you are going to fund your currency in Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, in USD, open your account in USD. If you're going to fund it in pound dollars, right, open it in pound dollars, right? So you save on the conversion, right? Do I prefer scalping or day trading? I actually prefer scalping, right? Please teach us another session how to effectively use indicators, right? In the future sessions, I'll be teaching you how to use Fibonacci. That's where it gets super advanced, it gets super fun, right? And it's going to be a journey until the end of the year and beyond. I'll be teaching you more and more advanced stuff as we go on. All right. I've asked this same question 5 times. Beverly, what question do you ask? I'm sorry. Not sure how to set effective indicators. Yes, I will teach you how to use effective indicators. Okay, no worries, man. No worries. Yeah, it's just so many questions are coming through, right? Yeah, just tune into the IC Markets webinars, and you see that I'll be teaching you more and more advanced. When is the Fibonacci webinar? It is estimated to be next week, right? Estimated to be next week. So I expect a full house next week. It's crazy stuff, right? Is it okay to relay on MT? I usually do my analysis on TradingView, right? Then I put my trades on MT4, right? I usually do my analysis on TradingView. Do I trade indices or do I recommend? I think indices is okay. You can trade on them, right? Does your trade manager require one-time purchase? The trade manager, which I showed you earlier, is a one-time purchase, right? If you want the trade manager, and you go to Forex Army, you click the trade manager EA, right? You can pick the middle option. It's a 148. It's a one-off payment, right? And it's the most popular one where you get to use it for a lifetime, right? So you just click get it, right? And you get 2 live accounts, 2 demo accounts, all future upgrades. This is our most popular option. Remember to use the discount when you use it, right? I'm getting, what is your so many questions. We also give the Fibonacci levels. Yes, my name is for those of you guys who didn't get it, my name is Desmond Leong, right? If your EA is expired, right, I need to activate it for you. So remember, send your MT4 account over. I do want to run one last poll before you guys go. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Let me see the polls here. In a month, how many webinars do you guys want? Remember, it is in a month. So do you want 1, 2, 3, or 4? Okay, I'm going to launch it now. right? So please vote, right? And let me know how many webinars you want in a month, right? This is not in a week. Remember, it's in a month. So I get a rough gauge. No, the trade manager does not allow you to set a maximum percentage daily stop loss. And yeah, where is that thing? Today I'm not. Yeah, it's not really whiskey. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, right? You can see that right there, right? Today I have XO. It's cognac. It's a little bit. I think I just drink once in a while, right? It's towards the end of the day, so yeah, just starting to chill a little bit more. Yeah, I starting to chill a little bit more. Oh, I can't see you. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll now. All right, most of you guys, 55% of you guys voted for 4. That's awesome, right? You can see me, right? I'm not sure if you can see me now, right? This is my choice of poison for tonight. It's called the XO Cognac. Kind of small bottle, right? It's easy to drink, right? I find cognac particularly smooth, right? So some days I rotate between whiskey. I feel like drinking a little bit more. It's sake, sometimes soju, right? Today is a cognac kind of day. Yeah, small bottle for small guys. Trust me, I got a big bottle, man. Right? But if I have a big bottle now, I think my staff might question my legitimacy as their boss. Do you trade when you are high? No, I don't trade when I'm high, right? But I don't remember if I'm trading if I'm high, right? So get some Glenfiddich, guys. What's your favorite whiskey, right? You can share with me. What's your favorite whiskey? Yeah, advanced Fibonacci. I'll do it. For what is my website, guys? Who wants to see my website? I'm just gonna share it over here. Or rather, it's called just theforexarmy.com. You can just check it out over there. Jack Daniels, Glenmorangie, whiskey from Speyside. Speyside tend to be a little bit smokier, right? I think I've tried the Octomore. I've tried the Lagavulin. I think if is that what you're talking about? Those Speyside kind of whiskey. Yeah, Lagavulin. I love the Lagavulin. It's smokier. I love the smoky stuff, right? I'm not a fan of Jack Daniels. I think it's great if you're cooking stuff with it, right? Otherwise, it's more of a mixer for me, right? Nika, right? Oh, Nika is awesome, right? My in-laws actually distribute Nika, so it's good stuff. There is Nika is good stuff, right? Macallan, more Scottish, yeah, Scottish whiskey. Slightly as it's slightly sweeter, right? I find it's easier drinking, right? So easy drinking is more or less a Macallan, right? Smoky. Anyone got good smoky whiskeys to like recommend beyond just Lagavulin? Coke or Pepsi? Nah, man. I think whiskey is healthier than Coke or Pepsi. Glenmorangie is not bad, right? A lot of people will love Scottish whiskey here, eh? A Buffalo Trace Bourbon, right? Royal Salute. Royal Salute. Interesting, interesting. Oh, Ardbeg. Yeah, I heard of them. Glenfiddich. XO is more of like cognac or okay, Lisa, I will see you next week. Broadly speaking, Speyside whiskies, lunchtime whiskeys, Glenlivet, Glenrove, and Macallan. All right, yeah, I agree that sweeter ones are like Glenrove, Glenlivet, and Macallan. Yeah, learning a lot. Courvoisier, I never heard of that. Damn it, I got to take a look at that. I should visit the Philippines when I can. If you guys want to visit Singapore when the travel bubble is up, ping me when you're around, right? We go out for drinking for a session. Lafroy. Oh, yeah, that one's smoky, man. That's a good recommendation. He's Korean. No, I'm not Korean, man. I'm Singaporean. Oh, okay. You meant EXO, Rihika. All right. Oh, sorry. I thought you told me I was Korean. If you guys want my Instagram handle, I don't. It's not really one of those Instagram traders, but you can find me on Instagram most of the time, right? Most of the time you're gonna see me posting about my cat, right? And yeah, if you guys can, right? Uh, yeah, if you guys can, right? Go and visit my cat. It's called Leia the Ragdoll. Right? Yeah, this is my cat over here, right? My cat's more popular than me. It's a freaking cute cat, right? Go follow this Instagram account, right? Leah the ragdoll, right? It's a cute cat, right? For those of you guys who are cat lovers, I'm trying to create a little TikTok account for it. You guys like this stuff, right? Yeah, it's so cute, right? I mean, yeah. So it's so cute. Yeah, that's my cat, right? We adopted her. Yeah, I adopted her because she was an ex-breeding cat and she had some personality issues. So she was retired as a breeding cat. So we went to adopt her, right? But yeah, it's a cute cat. So yeah, go and follow her, right? You follow her, you get to see a lot of me, right? Broken speeds for the dog. Yeah, oh, man, you guys got it. Oh yeah. Crypto. Sometimes you can't trade it because it's banned in Europe, right? Artberg is smoky. Okay, I'll take a look at Artberg. A lot of you guys are recommending Artberg, Olpar, Artfallen. Man, I need to take this stuff down, right? If you can send me a message on Instagram, even better. Oh, someone's recommending Louis X 111. Okay, I know it's 11 or 12 or something, but yeah, it's damn expensive, man. I only had the chance to taste it once, but it's damn expensive. Appleton, right? Now for Elizabeth, it's in USD. Louis Trey, okay, I'll check that out. Right, 13. Louis 13. Louis 13. I'll take a look at that. I'll drop for the Irish. Take a look at my questions. Sugair Mesh, right? Can you send that question through again so I can take a look at it? It's one of the rare times that I got time to just like hang out with you guys and talk. So yeah, if the session's over, so you want to leave, feel free to leave. I'm just hanging around here. Best way of trading stop loss if the trade goes in your favor. Personally, I think if you know how to do it, market structure is the best. If not, a parabolic SAR tends to be pretty good. Okay. Do I have a dog? Yeah, I have a dog. It's called Broken Spitz, right? So my dog is with my parents now, right? And yeah, it's called Broken Spitz because his ears are down, right? Japanese Spitz ears are supposed to be up, but mine is down. So it's called Broken Spitz, right? What's the average points per week risk? Oh, it's a little bit tough, right? My risk reward ratio tends to be 1:1. I cannot give you an answer on the number of points per week that I go for. I only trade what the market gives me. If there's nothing to trade, I will stay out of it, right? Yeah, and thanks, it's a cute ass cat, right? 3 ships from South Africa. Okay, nice. American Odyssey, right? How many trades do you usually open a day, right? I usually tend to open maybe anywhere from 1 to 3 trades a day, right? I trade only when the market shows me there's something to trade. I will not force a trade if there's nothing to trade. If the markets are slow as hell, right, I won't trade, right? Yes, it's possible to trade with 500 USD, but adjust your expectations, right? If you're going to trade 500 USDs, think of making money think of your account gain in terms of percentage. Don't look at it in like dollars, right? If 500 USD and you have made 50 USD, don't think about it as, oh man, it's only 50 USD. Think about it as I made 10% of my account. Because if you can make it with 500 USD, you can make it with 5,000, right? But first you need good risk management, and you can do it with 500, you can do it with 5,000, right? It's all a matter of risk management and trade management. So don't think about it in terms of the dollar amount you're making, but think about it in terms of percentage, because you can make 10% on 500 and 10% on 5,000 is very different. Is Wyckoff schematic trading strategy points? Oh man, so Garrison, I need to take a look at Wyckoff method. I've heard of it. I haven't done too much research into that. I'll need to take a look at Wyckoff. I heard of it before, but that's one of the things that I need to ask my guys out there, what's their take on it, right? Okay, for those of you guys who download a free trial but it's not working, I need to update it, right? So just ping me on Telegram. I'll send you the updated one, right? I have one of my assistant taking care of the Telegram. Her name is Joyce, right? So yeah, if you go onto here, you click on here, right? Joyce is able to take care of you. Just message her on Telegram or WhatsApp. Tell her that if you need any help, just ping her there. Okay. Do you have a Discord group? Not yet. Maybe next session I'll share with you guys a little bit of a Telegram or WhatsApp group we can chat in. Man, Abdul Malik, right? Can you send your question across again? Not that I don't want to reply to them, just that, man, there's so many questions coming through. Yeah, take a look at Wyckoff, right? Supply and demand traders go by. I believe something to do with supply and demand. I haven't really looked at it too much. Slow markets mean low volatility, yes, right? Yes, that's correct. 5% of 1,000 and 5% of 2,000 is a really big difference. When did I start trading? About 8 years ago. Okay, if you see a Forex Army free signal Telegram group, run away from them. They're not me. Okay, I don't offer a Forex Army free signals group. I know there are imposters out there. They have a lot of followers, but they cheat a lot of people of their money. So run away. Run like the wind. Okay. Okay, guys. Yes, that is correct. Right. So I'm only 31 years old. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. Right. So I'm gonna share with you guys how to do it. Right. But it's not an easy journey. It sure as hell is not easy, but I'll teach you guys how to get there. Okay. Okay, and now what's the difference? Okay, I'm not gonna ask the most important in trading. Yeah, how much did I start off with? I start off with a little bit of money to only, right? But blew 7 accounts before I started being profitable, right? So start off slow, like I said, one of my mistakes on hindsight, if you ask me, is that if you can make money with $500, you can make it with 5,000, you can make it with 50,000. But start off slow and don't look at the monetary gains, look at the percentage gain, right? Treat a $500 account as if it's a $5,000 account, as if you're managing a $500,000 account. Start off slow and get your strategy right first. Yes, I lost a lot in those 7 accounts, right? How much average time do you trade? I usually spend 2 or 3 hours trading a day because I need to run a business here. I was told to take a big software over 1K small software. Okay, Shamin, if someone's trying to sell you a $2,000 software because your $1,000 software is not working, run like the wind, man. They're just trying to make money from you. You're not gonna make any money from that. Invest in yourself. Invest in learning. Okay, anything, just learn with the webinars you're getting at IC Markets. They got awesome stuff, right? So learn from what they're teaching you, right? I'm here to teach you guys too. Okay. What kind of changes in the trade? I need to know how these changes. Okay, how credible is Elliott wave theory? Super credible, super tough. Okay, we're masters in Elliott wave theory, but super tough. They'll be in a super advanced class. Okay, is the lecture available after today? Yes, tune in to IC Markets, go to more, go to webinars, right? And I think IC Markets, shucks over here, IC Markets will be launching another webinar soon. Okay, now guys, I gotta run. I gotta go exercise now, right? So I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for answering all the questions, right? It's awesome getting to know you guys, getting to know more whiskey and stuff, right? I'll try to hang around with you guys a little bit more often, right? And I hope to see you guys next week. I'll be here, not next week, sorry, the week after, right? So probably a week after. Hopefully we can do it from next, weekly thing moving forward. But yeah, for now we'll be looking at the week after, right? Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, remember, stay safe, trade safe, right? And yeah, take care, guys. Peace out. Bye bye.